County Council meeting. If you'll stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Sanders.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity, Lord, today to meet and do the business for county government. And we pray that you would give us wisdom, direction, strength, and integrity, Lord, in the work that we do, that it would be pleasing to you. We thank you for the many blessings and benefits that you've bestowed upon us, Lord. And we give this meeting into your hands. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Our first order of business will be to approve the regular meeting minutes for March. Everybody's had a chance to read them, go through them. Is there any questions or comments?
Mr. President, with the one small exception of one S, I recommend we approve the minutes from March because in the remarks from at the end of the council meeting, I actually spoke about food deserts and not food desserts. But I do like food desserts, but the comment was about food deserts, and having recognized that, I recommend we approve the minutes.
Motion been properly made. I got a second with
That's a
Councilwoman.
second, with that one
Councilwoman Lake.
correction, yes.
Motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner and Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Our next order of business will be to address the additional appropriations. Madam Auditor?
Ordinance number 2024-HCCO-18, additional appropriations. Whereas it has been determined that it's now necessary to appropriate more money than was appropriated in the 2024 annual budget. Now therefore be it ordained by the County Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the expenses of the taxing unit, the following additional sums on money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named and for the purposes specified, subject to the laws governing the same. County General Fund, Superior Court 2, overtime, $7,250. Total County General Fund, $7,250. Lit Special Purpose Fund, Jail, FICA, $573.75. Employee Service Bonus, $7,500. Total Lit Special Purpose Fund, $8,073.75. Lit Correctional Facilities Fund, Equipment Repair, $157,400. Total Lit Correctional Facilities Fund, $157,400. Supplemental Adult Probation Fund, Probation Officer, reduction, $3,965. Total Supplemental Adult Probation Fund, reduction, $3,965. County User Fee Fund, Alcohol and Drug, Probation Officer, reduction, $23,650. Total County User Fee Fund, Alcohol and Drug, reduction, $23,650. Total additional appropriation for all funds, $145,108.75.
Thank you very much. If we can have Judge Bent, please. Welcome to the County Council.
Thank you very much. So this is my first time presenting before the council, other than when we came to have our specialty court budget approved. But I was notified by Gabby, who was previously at the auditor's office prior to her departure in March, that there was a $6,748.40 paid out for one of the employees that was leaving and going to work for retiring Judge Perry. And so that only left $251.60 in our overtime account. So since that time, we have also had a 5-day murder trial, and we have 3 additional murder trials that will be proceeding to trial, no questions asked yet this year. And then we have also been notified of a new policy set forth by Mr. McCann from the prosecutor's office that there will be no further plea agreements on level 6 felonies. And so time will tell on that, but I think that that's going to result in a higher number of cases being tried as well to a jury and not just to the bench. So I'm not even certain. I have asked for $7,250, which is in the range of what Judge Perry had approved previously, but I'm not certain that that will last us much more than a couple more jury trials. So it depends on how many more lower level 5, 4, 3, or 2 jury trials, not talking about the murders that we know are going, but even higher level felony jury trials may proceed before the end of 2024. So I may have to be back for another appropriation. But our staff works very hard. They're very efficient and diligent at what they do. And so I would be remiss not to ask for additional funding for them to be paid to them at the end of the year when we tally all of the overtime they have put in, especially for the jury trials. I don't approve overtime for just Monday through Friday. We can get caught up, if necessary. And that hasn't happened under my tenure, but let's just say sometimes during a jury trial, you could get beyond because you have to have a court reporter in there, you have to have a jury bailiff, and so you're automatically down by 2 court reporters at that point in time anyway. So in any event, I just want to ask for that additional appropriation for my staff. And I also want to forewarn you, this may not be the last request that I have to make before the end of the year.
Thank you very much. Were there any questions for Judge Vann?
No questions, but a comment. Had the opportunity to attend the Veterans Court graduation ceremony
Yes,
yesterday.
sir.
Thank you for leading that ceremony, and also congratulations to all those veterans that graduated and have turned their lives around.
Yes,
That's
they
a great
have.
testimony.
It is,
So congratulations.
absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You can call me Frank.
I wasn't raised with that. I called my own parents, yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. That's how we answered to them. But my dad was in the military. That may be why.
Judge, thank you
Yes.
very much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. We can have Sheriff Asher, please.
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. What does Peggy call you at the house?
Uh,
I don't answer that question. I'll ask her later about that when I see her the next time. Looks like I'm here for a couple things. Out of the lit fund, $573.75 for FICA. Jessica, maybe you can answer that question. I'm not sure what that
It's the
is for.
percentage based on the amount of money you need for the employee service bonus, so.
Oh, there you go. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the next thing is a service bonus. We pay that $2,500 per jail officer. So we have 3 jail officers that have previous experience, probably at Miami Correctional Facility, come to our jail. So we'll take that $573.75 and $7,500 out of commissary. We just need a place to put it.
What's that bring your, they're COs, right?
The correctional officers, that brings it to 38 right at the moment.
That's good news.
Couple more, we're doing some background checks on it, and I believe as of this morning, there was another one coming in for testing, so getting some applicants there. I think the second thing I'm here for is the $157,400 out of 1233. I think we've talked several times about this for the door control system, so need approval to be able to spend that $157,400.
Yeah, what's the timetable on that, Sheriff?
We've already signed the agreement to do this, so they're doing some of their software on their back end and building those servers. And I don't know, we don't have a timetable just yet, so they're working on that. We should have that soon.
And this will take care of all the door needs then, this amount?
It's absolutely.
The
I hope so,
electronic
yes. At
doors.
least we can open and shut the doors. That's the good thing. That's what this is, the door controller software
Mhm.
and computer.
Oh, this is not for the doors
This is not
themselves.
the actual
Okay.
2 doors. This is just the software to be able to open and close those doors
Okay.
from central control. That's what this is, yeah. I don't think you even want to know how much it costs per door, to fix a door at the jail, so
How much does it cost?
I'm glad you asked. A little bit over $16,000 per door,
Per door?
just per door. I don't know where that, I don't know if they're gold plated. I think I emailed them back and said, is that gold plated? Because that is an insane amount of money, I think, for a door for a jail. But
Yeah,
a little bit over $16,000 per door. We have 92 of them. So
Yeah.
just a couple dollars amongst friends.
Yeah, that sounds pretty high.
Well, that's just another discussion for another day.
Yes, sir. Any questions or comments for Sheriff Asher? Sheriff, thank you for being here. We can have Dustin DeLong, please, for probation.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks
I'd
for
like
being
to
here.
note that this is the first time I've been here to reduce an appropriation ever. No, I'm kidding. I've probably done it once or twice, but thank you, Mr. Maple, appreciate that. So the reduction is due to some rearranging of employees. We restructured our organization earlier this year in January, which moved some people from one line item into a different line item, leaving a balance at the end of the year in that line item. We moved somebody from people with less seniority moved into those roles. So the ones that you see that are being reduced,
Mhm.
we went from a 20-year employee on our probation officer salary scale. That's a higher paid
Mhm.
spot by a significant amount of money. And we went in with a 1 year for a fairly new person. So that's the reason for the reduction. I'm sure that I'll be back for an additional at some point, but not today.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Dustin DeLong? Dustin, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, there we have it. All the additional appropriations has been presented. If there's any questions or comments, if not, I will entertain a motion.
Move
Mr.
to
President, I
approve.
move we approve or
It doesn't matter.
fine, move it, I'll second.
Move to approve the additional appropriations as presented.
I'll second.
Motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman Alexander and Councilman Faulkner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Next order of business will be to address the transfers.
Resolution number 2024-HCCR-09 transfers. Whereas the county council may approve the transfer of money from one major budget classification to another within a department or office if the transfer does not require the expenditure of more money than the total amount set out in the budget as finally determined, and if the transfer is approved at a regular public meeting and by proper ordinance. Be it resolved by the County Council of Howard County that it's desired and deemed necessary that the following transfers be made within the accounts of the designated funds as set below. Lit Special Purpose Fund, Kinsey Youth Center Secure Detention, Longevity Reduction 200, Kinsey Youth Center Secure Detention, Longevity 200, Motor Vehicle Highway Fund, part-time to labor or engineer aid, 28,700. Lead mechanic to laborer engineer's aid, 6,400.
Thank you very much. If we can please have the Kinsey Youth Center's Kathy Cates Collison, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is simple. Basically, there was a miscalculation on our longevity between accounts, and so we simply request that we transfer $200 from our security detention fund to our shelter care fund to cover those expenses. And can I say I go first on the door? I've already, yeah, just to clarify that. Yes,
Okay.
I'm first in line.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Kathy? Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Okay. Our next transfers from the Highway Department's Amber Toll, and she can't be here today. She's got a previous appointment. So it's being presented by Madam Auditor Jessica Seacrease.
Okay. So she is just doing some staffing changes. She's, I believe, has moved one of her truck drivers into a different position, and she's kind of created this engineer's aide position to train the new person that's the head engineer. She has enough money in her budget to be able to do this. She's going to revisit it at the 2025 budget, but also this was unanimously approved through PAC committee.
Personnel Administration Committee, yeah. Okay. Any questions or comments about Highway Department's transfer? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve resolution number 2024 HCCR 09.
Second.
Motion's properly made and seconded by Councilwoman Lake and Councilman Sanders. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Next order of business will be to address the salary ordinance amendments.
Ordinance number 2024-HCCO-19, salary ordinance amendments. An ordinance amending and increasing staffing and salary authorization to be paid county employees for the calendar year effective January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, as originally approved for the year 2024, except where otherwise noted. Be it ordained by the Council of Howard County, Indiana, that for the said fiscal year, the following salary amendments are approved as additional changes to the basic salary ordinance for the same fiscal year. Necessary personnel services appropriations have been approved previously to support the required expenditure of necessary funds. County General Fund Superior Court 2 overtime, $7,250. Lit Special Purpose Fund Jail FICA, $573.75. Employee Service Bonus, $7,500. Kenzie Youth Center Emergency Shelter Care Longevity, $200. Kenzie Youth Center Secure Detention Longevity Reduction, $200. Motor Vehicle Highway Fund Part-Time Reduction, $28,700. Lead Mechanic Reduction, $6,400. Labor Engineers Aid, $35,100. Supplemental Adult Probation Fund, reduction $3,965. County User Fee Fund, Alcohol and Drug, reduction $23,650. And I also wanted to make a note of, it's on the salary ordinance under the part-time hourly amount for maintenance. We've increased that to the $23.68, which was PAC approved, and we don't really have a place to put it under a salary, so I wanted to just make a note of that, that will be updated on our salary ordinance.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments about the salary ordinance amendments?
I noticed that it's on the appropriations, it's a bonus times 3, but on the amendments, it's a bonus times 6.
Good catch.
Nice job. So that'll be corrected to times 3.
The amount's right, it's just the.
Yeah, the amount's correct.
Correction made. Any other questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move that we accept it as written with the correction.
Second.
Motion's been properly made and seconded by Councilman
Tim Cuthbert.
Cuthbert and Councilman Maple. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Next order of business. Is there any old business we need to tend to? We can go straight to new business. We have a guest speaker from the engineering department, HNTB Engineering, about the US 31 project presentation.
I can technologies work. I'm gonna put some slides up on the TV if that's okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Some people in this room have heard me talk more than once in the last couple of weeks, so.
Todd, you should just stand up there and just like point for her and stuff. Yeah.
It's like a, no, it's, I think it's. Well, hopefully it'll catch up to us. You can go all the way out. It says it's trying to connect. Cancel.
It's like my farming equipment works great in the shed until you take it out and got to use it.
Okay, there we go. Now I have to. Well, if there's ever going to be technology problems, it will for sure be when I'm standing up in front of people waiting to do a presentation. So that's fine. And last time I was having mouse problems where my mouse was not talking to my computer in real time, and so I was clicking all over the place and slides were advancing, and so it was a mess. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm Cassidy Hunter, and I'm the communications manager for the Propel US 31 South Transportation Study. I'm joined today by Dan Miller. He is the study manager. And the purpose of my few minutes up here today is to introduce you to the draft level 2 screening report and to familiarize you with some resources that are available to help you learn more. So when I was here last fall, we were just about to begin the alternatives analysis process, and that started with what was called the universe of alternatives. And at the universe of alternatives phase of the study, we were looking at all of the potential solutions that could address the identified needs in the US 31 South study area. The universe of alternatives was the first step in a 3-step evaluation process, and we are now in the second phase, which is known as level 2. So I've mentioned before that given the size and complexity of the US 31 South study area, there will be 3 levels of screening for potential improvements. And at the end of each screening step, there will be a smaller number of alternatives, but the level of detail associated with each alternative will increase. So during the universe of alternative screening process, 55 potential improvement concepts were identified that could address the identified issues and desired outcomes in the study area. Now, this starting point included a variety of things, including location-specific improvements like roadway lighting and acceleration or deceleration lanes, as well as larger scale improvements like added travel lanes. So the purpose of the level 2 screening was to qualitatively evaluate location-specific improvements for reasonability and potential impacts. The improvements considered in the level 2 screening were identified at the universe of alternatives phase of the study. So in level 2, the 14 potential solutions that were identified as primary and complementary concepts were evaluated at the primary intersections in the study area. The primary intersections are locations where US 31 intersects with a roadway that is designated as a major collector or higher, or roadways that within the study area that were identified during our outreach as critical access points for the community, like for bus routes or emergency service providers or agricultural equipment. These primary intersections largely control the roadway operations in the study area, and therefore alternatives selected at the primary intersections kind of determine what can happen upstream and downstream of those primary intersections. And so this really lays the foundation and the building blocks for the level 3 screening. So in general, the level 2 screening process included these 4 steps. The first was a decision tree, which is an assessment tool that basically was a series of standardized questions that helped identify the scale of the improvements needed at each intersection. And those were applied consistently to all of the primary intersections in the study area. Next was a planning level traffic operations analysis. Concepts that were expected to produce poor traffic operations were obviously eliminated from further consideration. Step 3 was a qualitative evaluation matrix that assessed several factors, including the ability for improvements to meet the purpose and need, the anticipated social, economic, and environmental impacts of an improvement, and the relative cost. So multiple improvement alternatives were eliminated at this step due to high cost and low benefits. The final step of the level 2 screening was a conceptual footprint comparison to establish a high-level estimation of the footprint or area of disturbance of a particular alternative. So these footprints were then used to screen out alternatives that had high impacts. So these are the 5 primary concepts that were carried forward. Access management are strategies that control and optimize the way vehicles and pedestrians enter, exit, and interact with the roadway. Access management improvements are typically accomplished by reducing access conflict points, and those include driveway connections. Another improvement concept considered was unsignalized intersection improvements, where existing intersections would be reconfigured to improve safety and efficiency. And there are several ways that this could be done, maybe by implementing innovative intersection types, such as reduced conflict intersections, roundabouts, and green T intersections. On the other hand, it could include things like adding or extending turn lanes. The next concept that was considered was crossroad overpasses and underpasses, which is obviously where the intersecting roadway is physically separated from the highway and cross traffic. They're both free flowing. That would improve safety by removing conflict points. However, access would be reduced because the cross-road connection would be eliminated. Another concept that we considered was the conversion of at-grade intersections to interchanges. In this concept, an at-grade intersection would be modified to separate the traffic flow on the major roadway from the crossroad. This would improve safety, again, by reducing conflict points, and the major roadway would have free flow conditions, which would improve the roadway efficiency there. And then access would be maintained through a series of entrance and exit ramps. Finally, in the Universe of Alternative Screening memo, free flow facilities were identified as a primary concept in the US 31 South study area. So a free flow facility is a roadway where users are not required to stop. And again, this could be accomplished in a variety of ways, ranging from removing traffic signals to converting the roadway to a freeway, which includes full access control. The options for potential facility types, including free flow facilities with different levels of access control, will be evaluated more at the level 3 screening. So for the US 31 South study area, the level 2 screening focused on, that's so small, focused on 18 primary intersections. It's important to note that the US 31 and County Road 400 South intersection in Miami County was added as a primary intersection because of its proximity to Pipe Creek Elementary School. So this slide shows the range of improvements that pass the level 2 screening. We just talked about the primary concepts, which really dictate how the roadway operations flow. And then the complementary concepts, which are shown in yellow, were considered in the development of the alternatives at the primary sections because they can provide some benefit when added to a primary concept. So the draft level 2 screening report was released to the public for review and comment on March 27th, and that is posted along with the public comment form on our website at propelus31.com. The report is lengthy and it's a technical document. It's a lot of information to take in and understand, So what you're seeing here is a screenshot of an interactive map resource, which is available on our website. This is a pretty slick tool which lets you select at the bottom of the screen the US 31 South study area. That will bring up all of the primary intersections in our study area, and then it will allow you to look at all of the potential alternatives that were carried through the level 2 screening at that intersection. I'm happy to look at that if there are questions following my time up here, but it's a great way to take a really very lengthy and technical document and drill it down to exactly the intersection that you're interested in or the group of intersections that you're interested in, and get an idea of the types of concepts that are being considered at those locations. So after the consideration of public comments that are received during this comment period, we will begin the level 3 screening process. And the goal of that screening process will be to identify a recommended set of reasonable alternatives based on the qualitative and quantitative data, including costs, benefits, and impacts. And then at the end of the study, we will present those to NDOT for recommendation. Dan and I will be out at community fairs, festivals, and special events all summer long, trying to meet residents where they are and get their feedback on this study. It's critical to the success of the study that we have feedback and input. This is a different initiative for NDOT, coming to the public before a project scope is known. So this is time that residents, business owners, stakeholders have the opportunity to really inform the way that the study moves forward. So I've thrown a lot at you, I know, but I did want to leave some time for any questions or comments if you have them. And thank you again for your time and your attention. Appreciate it.
How long is the public comment period open until,
Well,
roughly?
Well, it actually ends today. However, we were supposed to be meeting last week. And it was so perfectly timed. We will take comments at any time, and knowing the timing, we will continue to gather comments. They are always accepted. However, we will be working in the next few days to kind of collect all of the ones that we've gathered during this comment period so that they can inform the next screening level. So I understand that the timing of this is a bit awkward, but I encourage you, please make the comments. We will still take them. They will still be considered. That April 30th date is, it's a guidepost, so.
The comment period.
Come on up, Dan. Yes.
The comment period really does drive the overall process, because so this is a draft. We'll take the comments, and all the comments received will help move forward, and we'll finalize level 2 before we can start the level 3. As part of that, so we're trying to be as transparent as possible. All the comments received to date are available on the website, propelus31.com. Like after the universe of alternatives, all the comments received about the universe of alternatives are at the end of that report, including all of our responses to those comments. And the same thing will happen this round. All the comments before that are in what's called a resource agency and stakeholder and public involvement summaries, and there are 2 of them, and we've received hundreds of comments. Yep. So that's why it was released on the 27th. We tried to give a minimum 30 days, so it's today is the last day, but just with getting pushed back again, we will accept comments. That being said, any comments that happen after this, it's not like the study's ending. They still can reflect. This is just going to help us decide, which of the alternatives for the primary intersections move forward into level 3. As Cassidy said, they're the building blocks. So what you do at the primaries really influences what you can do at those smaller intersections in between. As part of level 3, we're going to break our study area into segments. Right now, we're planning on 7 segments, and it's 3 to 5 mile areas that work together. And then you'll be able to see within that segment at this primary intersection, if you do something, I'll just go big, like an interchange. There are federal requirements if you put in an interchange with how far that next interchange could be, what sort of drives could be open within the distance. So you'll see if you do that, it's like A, B, B, A, or it could be A, C, D, B, and you'll be able to comment and say, I really like option A, I don't like option B. The biggest thing that we try to relay is, please tell us the why. If you say, I don't like a comment, or I hate this, but you don't say why, it really, we can't address that. If you say, I don't like alternative A because we hear, I need better access to my farm, or I want a quicker drive to Indianapolis, we hear a lot of different things, and so we need the whys. That's the really important things for the comments that we're receiving.
Excellent. On the chart you showed a few moments ago with the intersections that you're trying to work with, there's no column that has what county the roads are in. It just has like a County Road 800 South, US 31, and we don't know what county that is.
There's none in Howard County, correct? Or am I wrong?
That's of the primary intersections, that's correct. The Kokomo bypass is not included in the study. However, we do know that people in Howard County use 31 corridor a lot. So we've coordinated with all the counties, including here, coming to outreach points. So like, I know SRE team's just outside, but that is going to influence things. And again, we want to make sure all the users, and if you utilize it for traveling, if you have family members that are within the US 31 corridor, the interactive map that Cassidy was showing, if you would like us to show you, is a really useful tool. We also provided a video for each of the primary intersections that walks you through the alternatives that move forward for 3.
Dan, what county is US 31 and Airport Road? What county is that in?
Miami County.
Miami.
So,
That's good.
and yeah, that's just north of Business 31. So where to go to Peru.
Mhm.
And so what happens at Business 31, because Airport Road is really close, those two are tied together. If you do something significant at Business 31, it's going to greatly influence what's going to happen at Airport Road. The Grissom area from 218, north and south leg, or east and west, it's the north and south junction, the east and west leg, down to 800, all of those work together. So what happens at one of those really is going to influence what happens within that corridor. And those are the sort of things you'll be able to see in greater detail when we do prepare the level 3 document.
So is that,
So
this
on that
is really-
interactive map, can you go to that area like 218 and click on that and show us what it looks like?
Absolutely.
It's Cassidy, is your name
Yes.
Cassidy?
Yes.
You probably asked if you hop along too, right?
Well, I told Dan before you came in, I may have said this last time, that Faulkner is my big
Oh, we're cousins then.
Who knew?
7 degrees of Frank Faulkner.
How's your humor quotient? Test it on that man sitting right behind you.
So here's the interactive map.
So if you went to 218, could you blow that up and show what it's
Absolutely.
showing?
So when you open it up, the US 31 South study is part of 4 studies. It's 180 miles of 30 and 31. So we're the US 31 South, so if you click on US 31 South there, it'll zoom you into our study area. When you first open this up, it'll take you through directions. So I'll show you so here's 800, and if you clicked on 218 North, it'll start off with the video. It'll load here. Would you turn off the TV volume? If it's up. There we go.
What's up, Pam?
US 31 and State Road 218 North is located in the northern portion of the US 31 South study area in Miami County. This intersection provides access to the town of Walton and is located just north of the Grissom Air Reserve Base. There are several environmental factors that will influence the design of alternatives at this intersection. These include High Creek, a tributary, and 5 mapped wetlands. In addition, the Nickel Plate Trail and an environmentally sensitive area are nearby. Also close to this intersection are 2 mobile home communities and low-income and minority populations, so access considerations are important in all design concepts. Public comments in this area centered around safety concerns due to the crash frequency at this intersection. The US 31 and State Road 218 North intersection has the highest number of recorded crashes in the US 31 South Steady area at 109. Nearly 70% of those crashes were rear-end type crashes, which resulted in 11 incapacitating injuries. There were an additional 8 incapacitating injuries and 1 fatality caused by right-angle collisions. This intersection has an elevated crash frequency and crash severity compared to other similar intersections. Community feedback also focused on the importance of US 31 and State Road 218 North for school buses and emergency responders. Now let's discuss the alternatives that pass the Level 2 screening at this intersection. Converting the intersection of US 31 and State Road 218 North into a reduced conflict intersection would allow for a free flow condition along US 31 while maintaining access. It would also promote increased safety by eliminating cross-street through traffic. Drivers would make a right turn at the intersection of US 31, merge into the left lane, and then make a U-turn in the direction they intend to travel. By reducing the number of potential conflict points, the likelihood of severe crashes would be significantly reduced.
So just
A barrier
pause for a
separated
second.
Green T intersection.
Can you
would
pause that for a
separate
second?
northbound lanes and the left turn.
I've been in a lot of conversations as part of the Grissom Community Council and the Grissom Regional Defense Alliance Group. And there is a big negative about the J-turns in that area and J-turns along that. And most of my friends in Miami County will tell you, hey, we don't want those J-turns up there because of traffic and semi-traffic. Plus, that 218 would then become, if you will, probably the main entrance from the north to the base. I'm not sure what happens now to the entrance if you were exiting the base and headed south on 31. There's a good exit right there now. But as you if you were coming into the base, my understanding, the discussion, although not finalized, would be to make the main entrance into the base or the Aeroplex, let's call it the Aeroplex, from 218 on the north. But I'm going to tell you, people that I've talked to in Miami County are pretty strong against J-turns. Don't bring those J-turns into that area. You probably heard that before, though,
We've been
haven't
coordinating
you?
with Miami County. We met with the council and commissioners up there as well. We're also meeting with Grissom. We've met with them before. We're meeting with them 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, again, so they are a major stakeholder because they,
Absolutely.
I mean, there's, not only are they a major stakeholder, we're limited with what we can do in the area because of the no-fly zones. That really limits the alternatives.
Sure.
We can't raise the roadway. So appreciate that, understand that. This is a robust, comprehensive study. So we look at all alternatives and it goes from low cost, low impact to a higher impact. So on top of the video, when you go to each page underneath, we pulled directly from the report and it shows you the footprint area, a high level footprint area of what reduced conflict intersection, which includes J-turns and other things of that sort, all the way to an interchange. An interchange, of course, requires significantly more right-of-way, potential relocations, et cetera. So we're trying to show everything. But these are the type of comments and questions that we're taking, of course, not only from the Council of the Commissioners, but from the general public and going out. Because some people have seen, we've heard both sides of, I really want an interchange here. I live right here on the northwest side of this intersection, not realizing that putting an interchange would force their house to be relocated and vice versa. So this study, the purpose of this study is we're required to do a robust study to look at everything from limited impact to significant, and it's also access. We're looking at different access points, from trying to keep as much access as possible to making it a freeway, which is full limited access, where all the drives on US 31 would be gone. So we're looking at this broad spectrum, taking comments from the public, from all the major stakeholders within the group as well, to help analyze and finalize a range of alternatives that'll move forward from the study.
Well, John made a good point because that's Miami County. We don't speak for Miami County, so.
We appreciate that, and we hear positive and negatives across the board, and some people point to other areas. I will say one thing, everything within our study area is being designed for a WB65, which is a large semi would accommodate school buses and majority of your farm equipment. There's some farm equipment that we can't design for, it's too large. But there would be nothing that would be designed within our study area, including the RCIs, and if it was J turn or another, like the one that you saw there are left turns off of 31 that people have noted, and some of the different intersections have a different formation of the RCI. All of those would accommodate semis, school buses, and your larger farming equipment. Where we also, at any place where it would be added, it'd be required to do an acceleration lane after they turned, so that the vehicle would be able to get up to speed before moving on to 31, since it is a higher speed corridor. So everything is being analyzed. Nothing that's being analyzed in the study would move forward if it couldn't accommodate the type of roadway it was and the type of vehicles that travel on it. So just want to make that clear. But you'll see as we go through this, we look at a lot of different intersections, and like a green T is not something that you typically see in Indiana. You can see it in a couple areas, but we're trying to look at different innovative ways to address, because people have their needs and their wants and safeties. This would leave the signal. This would be an intersection. I continue to play this if you'd like. There's also a green T interchange, and then there's also, at this specific location, would be connecting 218 North over to 600 and making it a full interchange, so that you don't have the legs, you don't have that stair step, because 218 North, as the video showed you, is our least safe intersection in our study area. You have extremely high frequency, but the severity, so it's called the index of crash cost, and you look at it, and so if you have a ICC over 2, that means you're more than 2 times more likely to have a severe accident. At this location, it's over 3. This is a very, very unsafe intersection. So we're trying to look at a lot of different ways, and if you did that, it would address that next intersection down, but it would affect what happened at 850 and at 800. So we're showing these options, and then the next round would be, well, if you like this option, this is how it's going to impact those roadways north and south of there.
Okay.
I didn't know it was the highest intersection with accidents, but I did know that a lot of reservists come in and out from that way. And, you get times like at the end of a UTA weekend when hundreds of people are leaving, all at approximately at the same time.
No,
Several
definitely.
hundred.
Between this and then when we look at 800 as well, we have the correctional facility that we're running into, then 850, and we're coordinating with Maconaquah and all the different school districts within our area regularly. So from the very beginning, we've been reaching out to schools, emergency service providers, and the farming community within our area, because that's what majority of our study area is, because they really drive the different alternatives that we have at this point.
It sounds like the days of Robert Moses is over, doesn't it? No more just making it happen. You actually think about it and the impact on people.
So the videos are great. The level 2 report is a long, detailed report. But if you have questions, if you see something in the video and you're like, oh, I wonder why they didn't think about that, the report is detailed. But if you have like one intersection or a couple of intersections that you're interested in, there's a lot of detail you can go into within that report. So I wouldn't dismiss it. It definitely shows the analysis that's gone.
It might help people like me if you put a column there with the county that the intersection's in. That would save me hours.
Absolutely.
But that's a great idea, so yes, thank you.
No, we appreciate that. We tried to, they're listed north to south in our study area. That's how we have, but definitely adding the counties in makes sense. And we're just trying to keep it concise. It's a big table, but that's an easy column to add. Appreciate
Mr. Miller, Ms. Hunter,
Thank you so much.
thank you both for being here and showing us what's going on with the corridor.
Thank you.
Appreciate your expertise and your time.
Can I ask one more question, John?
Why, certainly.
Mr. President.
Yes, please.
PropelUS31.com is where all that information is.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can click on each individual
Study area, yes.
and see what we just saw.
Yes.
Okay.
What each of the study teams have might be different, like
Okay.
you might not have a video, we all didn't make the exact same videos, but yes, you will be able to see something based on
Okay.
all of the.
But we should have
Yeah.
good information of what's
Yes,
really
we all have
happening.
information. Some have a pamphlet. We have handouts as well where we try to summarize this. The graph that you saw on there is page 137, I believe, in our report. So like all the information that we pulled from here, we've been trying to say, you all gotta, we apologize, we didn't want to take too much time. You gotta quickly summarize presentation, because it is a very long, detailed report, looking at 18 primary intersections and all those alternatives.
And we have a summary report that just has that table with the intersections and the concepts listed in size that can,
Perfect.
that can be read. So that's on there too, if you just want to see
Summary.
that table and see the
Okay.
little snapshot. Yeah.
Okay,
And we have up above, if you look at the document folder, so there's a propelus31.com and a propelus30.com. So if you go to ours, both of them have it, but there's the document folders and all the documents that we've prepared to date, all the comments that we've received today, all of that is available online at that website.
okay.
Have you thought of putting out a little 3x5 card above your desk that says, "The reward for good hard work is more good hard work"?
I'd like a little bit larger of a sign, so people would definitely.
Yes, right.
Yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate that. It is a major core, I mean, this is a major study that NDOT is doing, to look at 180 miles. This sort of study is newer to the state. This is the second one. The first one was a small work through up on Borman. And this is kind of the way we're wanting to get the public and other stakeholders involved before alternatives have been decided to help, move forward with the best needs for the community.
Thank you for
Thank you.
being here.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good job, cousin.
Well, is there any other council business we need to tend to this afternoon? Not? Is there any public comments? Not? In that case, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So we adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner and Councilwoman Lake.
Introduce the person down at the end of the table there, Jessica?
Yes.
We will. This is Hayden Turner.
Hayden, welcome to family group here. Friendly family group.
I'll let everybody
We're glad to have you. Thank you, sir.
to be here.
Good.
All those in favor of adjournment, motion has been properly made and seconded by Councilman Faulkner and Councilwoman Lake. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned.